Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back, folks. 4:32 p.m. So I am on time, which is not necessarily the case. When I go live for you, let me see. There you go. So my audio is working just fine. How are you guys doing today? Good? Hello, folks. Welcome back. Please drop a comment down below and let me know what stocks you want me to go over. Today the markets didn't do much. We saw a little bit of rotation in favor of the Russell 2000, the IWM, which went up 1.59%. The Nasdaq went up 0.81%. The S&P up 0.58%, and the Dow Jones went up today, how much? 214 points, up 0.51%. Oklo, there you go. That's a stock that I have been trading in and out recently. Tessie, we got news about Elon, right? He's finally criticizing the Trump administration, and let's see what our president says later on today about what Elon posted on Twitter. Uber. Hello from Charlotte. Are you in Charlotte, Glenda? Have we met? In person? I guess we did, right? Yeah, I got together with a bunch of you guys like 2 months ago. Yeah, here in Charlotte. That was super fun. On a Saturday. When was it? It was like 2 months ago. Yeah, super fun. CG, it got destroyed. It went up today a lot, right? On the news about a deal that is going to be signed with Meta. And after that, Constellation Energy ended up giving up all of the gains. Yeah. That were gained in the pre-market session. Yes. No, we haven't met yet. We'll catch each other next time. Okay. Nice. So, welcome TS. Welcome 14 Judira. There you go. Glenda, Curtin, Tamara, Keith, Jonah. That's Babylon boy. Travis B. Dieter Creators, you're always here. Always around. What's up, bro? You good? And Yodo from Connecticut, right? What's up, Night Warrior? There you go. Are you really a Night Warrior? Like partying a lot and stuff? Thoughts on Tesla for the week? Hams. That stock also got killed. Yeah, so I think, guys, and I mean, if nothing unexpected happens, I should be going live once again for you guys on Thursday. I have an important announcement to make on Thursday. But if I go live again on Thursday for you guys, it's going to be a live stream that is going to be available for all of the members of my YouTube channel. Because when I go live for you guys, usually, as I am doing it today, I am streaming exclusively for you, for the members of our Discord, of Chris Saint's Discord. But on Thursday, I think that I will be streaming for all of the members of my YouTube channel. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's why I don't want to spend a lot of time going over what happened today in the markets. You guys saw what happened today, so we are having, for the most part, trading sessions in which we have zero volatility. Little to non-volatility when it comes to the SPY, to the ETF of the S&P 500. So I haven't been trading the SPY on a constant basis, guys, to be honest with you. I have been focusing rather on individual stocks such as Oklo. Correct. And if we take a look, let's go over the SPY. We should always do it, guys. It isn't right to analyze individual stocks such as Tesla or Oklo or whatever it is, without going over the SPY. Okay. This is the director of the orchestra of the stock market. the S&P 500, and therefore the SPY. So this is a 4-hour chart. The SPY is under the total control of buyers, guys. Take a look above all the moving averages. 50, 20, the 20-day moving average is actually rising above the 100 and the 200-day moving average. So as we stand as of now, it looks like this could change, and I don't have a crystal ball in order to predict the future. That's why I trade the technicals in front of me. It looks like, and as long as the bulls can remain above the 5-day moving average, which as of now is signaling $591.50, and I would say that more importantly, well, the bulls can remain trading above the 20-day moving average in pink, the 20 DMA, so above $543.45. Sorry, $543.45, and I think that this is an important level when it comes to the ongoing week. I think, guys, that the bulls are simply gathering momentum above all the moving averages to finally, I don't know, maybe this week, burst above $599. And if that were the case, guys, all-time highs for the SPY is just around the corner. So what do I mean by that, guys? That if we happen to see any intraday pullback, maybe down to the 5 DMA, 590.67, or maybe, why not, down to the 20-day moving average, which as of now is signaling $583.70. So in other words, guys, as long as the SPY remains throughout the ongoing week above $583.70, I think that we have another push higher for the SPY coming up. Maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. But all-time highs is just around the corner, guys. So it looks like the bulls are simply gathering momentum in order to finally burst above 599. And if that were the case, guys, don't be surprised of seeing all-time highs, $613 in the SPY. I would say, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So the SPY looks very bullish. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of volatility as of now in order to trade the SPY. Yeah. When the SPY is going in the right direction, when do you get out? Everything. Engulfing candle. No. In my case, I am usually trading the moving averages. And especially the 5-day moving average, the 5 DMA. This white line, guys. This is a very important moving average when it comes to minor time frames. And take a look at how it has acted as support recently, guys. It acted as support on the 29th. Take a look to the penny. We saw a test of the 5-day moving average, and the bulls were able to find support over there and then bounce back up. The 5 DMA was broken to the downside on the 30th of May. Take a look. But immediately, buyers stepped in and were able to recapture this moving average. The same thing happened yesterday. And today, take a look, guys. We saw some sort of a little test of the 5 DMA, which as of now is starting to rise, which is also bullish. And the SPY ended up being off to the races from, let's say, 9:30 a.m. until 1:20 approximately p.m. The SPY is looking super good as of now. Super good as of now. We'll see what happens, guys. If the 5 DMA is broken to the downside, that might turn a bit negative in minor time frames. But again, guys, as long as the SPY remains above 583.60, 583.70, it looks like we have higher prices coming up for the SPY. Okay, Tessie, let's go over Tessie right away. So what happened here, guys? Take a look. And take a look at the information that I posted on Discord. Take a look at the time, guys. So Elon posted this information on Twitter today. And at 2:29 p.m., guys, take a look at how sometimes news can actually move some stocks and a lot. So Elon posted that, I don't know, it was something like 2 p.m. I am sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. And go figure, guys. The president hasn't voted for it, but it is endorsing the law. You know you did wrong. You know it. And take a look at the time that I posted this information on Discord, guys. 2:29 p.m. And take a look at what happened with Tesi today. Let's pull up here a 1 day, 1 minute chart. Let's go ahead. Tesi. 1 day, 1 minute. Look. So the news came out at pretty much here. Take a look. 2 p.m. Tesla fell. Take a look. Fell off a cliff. The second the news came out. Why is it, guys? And I am a technical trader, guys. So let's say 95% of the time, I am simply trading the shorts in front of me. But you have to be mindful about the fact that news can move some stocks a lot, depending on the news that we are talking about. So Tesla, this is news that is super important for Tesla. Why is it? Well, because Tesla is going to be depending on the future a lot on political support when it comes to regulation about the so-called robo-taxis. So if later on today, or I don't know, maybe tomorrow, Trump posts something on Truth Social, I don't know, maybe arguing with Elon and saying, Elon, you are this and you are that and you are a betrayer or whatever it is, that's bad news for Tesi. So if you're going to be trading Tesi tomorrow, you have to be sure that President Trump is not engaging in a public back and forth with Elon. If that is the case, guys, I think that we have lower prices coming up for Tesla. So we can take a look at a 4-hour chart here or at any other technical chart, and I can tell you guys about potential levels of support and resistance, and I can take a look at the market structure of Tesla. But as of now, I'm taking into account that Elon not only is stepping away from the government, but is now openly criticizing the government. Take a look at the information that he posted today and at what he posted today on Twitter, guys. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. This is a very strong statement, guys. Super strong statement. So if, and I'm not saying that is going to be the case, but if Elon engages in a back and forth on social media with President Trump, that's bad news for Tesi. And that could affect the stock from a technical standpoint. So when it comes to the technicals, the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average, is signaling as of now $350. And again, I use a lot the 5 DMA in white in order to try to determine who is in control of minor time frames. This is a very important moving average, especially if you are taking short-term trades. So say that, I don't know, Trump doesn't say anything against Elon overnight or tomorrow. If that were the case, and if we happen to see Tesi consolidating above $350, then maybe that could open the door for a test of $363, which happens to be a previous level of resistance for Tesla back from late May. So above the 5-day moving average, I am constructive about Tesla, but before trading Tesla, guys, I need to see what Trump is going to be saying about this controversy that Elon is giving rise to today with what he posted on Twitter. So that is something to keep in mind. Other than that, guys, above the 5-day moving average, above the 5 DMA, this chart looks bullish, guys. We have a rising 20 DMA. Tesla is trading above the 100, the 200, and the 50-day moving average. So any price action above 350 is positive for Tesla. This could be attracting buyers, or this situation could be attracting buyers into this technical chart. If we take a look at the market structure of Tesla, what do we see here? Let's see. Let's go look. Take a look. So this is a market structure chart. On top of this chart, you guys can see the demand, buyers, and at the bottom, supply, sellers. Now, the demand dropped a bit, and we can reconcile this market structure short with the fact that we saw a bit of profit taking on Tesi a few days ago, but the bulls were able to find support near or a bit above the rising 20-day moving average, so that's positive, that's bullish. And now the demand is trying to go up again. That's also positive, but the supply is also going up again. So demand buyers, supply sellers. So for me, in order to be, and as I just said, guys, constructive from a technical standpoint in the case of Tesi, I need to see it consolidating above the 5-day moving average, so above $350 approximately. That situation could be attracting buyers to this technical short. Say that isn't the case. Say that maybe Tesla fails at bursting above $350. Well, maybe this rising 20-day moving average at $332 could be acting as support, and maybe Tesla could be bouncing back up. Sorry, guys, from that level. It's positive. The short looks good, guys, but we'll see what happens overnight with this situation between Elon and the government, and maybe nothing happens, and that would also be bullish for Tesla, guys, because Elon is openly criticizing something very important for President Trump, right? This is the big beautiful bill, right? So it is an important matter for the current administration. So if Trump doesn't say anything and he plays dumb with what Elon posted today on Twitter, that would be a positive development for Tesla, because that would be implying that President Trump doesn't want to engage in a fight with Elon, and that could also imply that Tesla could still have the favor of the Republican Party when it comes to robotaxi and self-driving regulations. So keep an eye on that, yeah. Okay, Oklo. Let's go over to Oklo, guys. There you go. Yeah, I have been telling you guys about Oklo on Discord. It went down today 5%, and it closed the trading session at $49.79. So today it went up a lot pre-market on the news about Constellation Energy and Meta, and then the RIP got sold. Take a look. Big time, guys. So Oklo went up to $58, and it ended up giving it gave up all of the gains and then some, and it closed below the 5-day moving average, so below the 5 DMA. The short still looks good, guys. We can make a case that the push to the upside that we saw from May 22nd and on is a bit extended, but regardless of that, guys, we have an upward sloping 20-day moving average in pink above the 100 DMA in blue, 50 DMA in green, and the 200-day moving average in red. And pretty much all of these moving averages are upward sloping. And remember, the slope, guys, of any moving average is very important. When a moving average is upward sloping, is rising, that implies that it is potentially pushing price up. And the opposite also happens when we have a moving average that is downward sloping. That implies that it is putting downwards pressure over that security, over that stock. So, in the case of Oklo, I am thinking about two potential scenarios. So one would be maybe a retest of this former level of support back from May 30th at $48-ish. Oklo could be potentially bouncing back up from here. This stock would be a no touch, guys, below $48. So you have to be careful here. If Oklo breaks $48 to the downside, in my opinion, this upward sloping 20-day moving average that I just told you guys about at $41 could be starting to act like a magnet. So Oklo breaks $48 to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a retest of this rising 20 DMA at $40. That, by the way, is also coinciding with a previous level of resistance that acted as such in the case of Oklo back in mid-May. But say that Oklo bounces back up from $48, that could open the door for a test of the 5-day moving average at $53. And needless to say, guys, and this is a momentum stock. I was telling one of you guys yesterday on Discord, I got a DM from one of you guys, and that person was asking me about Oklo. when it comes to these kind of, retail darling stocks, I prefer to open trades on good momentum. So I prefer to start the trade on Oklo with Oklo taking out a potential level of resistance rather than, trying to buy shares of Oklo at a potential level of support. This is a momentum stock. I mean, that's a way that I have been trading Oklo, and so far it has paid out for me, right? So that's what I'm saying. It above $53 or closing candles above the 5-day moving average, above $53. Yeah, Oklo could be off to the races, guys. I wouldn't rule out a test of $58 approximately. By the way, guys, and this is a discussion that I had today, once again, with the members of my Patreon. If you are trading Oklo options, you are doing this backwards. Why is it? Well, because the implied volatility is simply too high. Take a look at these, guys. 134%, 102%, 109%. A member of my Patreon was telling me today, guys, that he got 100 shares of Oklo and he sold a covered call expiring this upcoming Friday. And he was paid $150, guys. Selling one covered call expiring on Friday, this upcoming Friday. Unbelievable. That implies that if you are buying options here, guys, either calls or puts, you are paying a very expensive price for any Oklo option that you buy. And that implies that, therefore, you need a you need an important movement to either the upside or the downside in order to be able to make a profit out of that contract. So in my case, when I trade Oklo, I am always purchasing shares and not contracts. That is something to keep in mind, guys. You guys should get familiar with the concept of implied volatility and also with the concept of IV rank. Because most of you guys are trading options, right? Let me take a look at the market structure of Oklo, and I would also like to take a look at some Crwv webs. I didn't do it in the case of Tesla. In the case of Tesla, I didn't take a look at any anchored volume weighted average price lines, because in the case of Tesla is above all the moving averages that we can point out as important anchored volume weighted average price lines. So in the case of Tesla, guys, above the current price of Tesla, we didn't have many important levels of potential overhead supply from which Tesla could be pulling back. In the case of Oklo, take a look at this market structure, guys. Again, what you guys can see on top is the demand, or buyers, and at the bottom, the supply, sellers. So the demand is represented by this blue shaded region that I am pointing out with my mouse. Take a look at this, guys. The demand is through the roof. Unbelievable. And take a look at the supply, sellers, going down. This is a market structure that is suggesting that more likely than not, I would say, we have higher prices coming up for Oklo, guys. Either recapturing the 5 DMA or closing candles above $53, bouncing back up from $48, or why not, even better, maybe paying a visit down to this upward sloping 20-day moving average at $40. This is a very good looking chart. I mean, from a market structure standpoint. Let's take a look at some Crwv webs. In the case of Oklo, where do I have TradingView here? There it is. There you go. Okay, let me see. TradingView. Okay. Oklo. So let me display. We have a previous high here back from May 28th. This was a previous all-time highs. And take a look, guys. So, an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from this former all-time highs for Oklo. Oklo reached $57 back on May 28th. Well, if we take a look at an Crwv web from that date, we get an average price of $53. So for the most part, guys, and taking into account that Oklo reached today or hit today a brand new all-time highs, we can make a case that the buyers, or that the only buyers that are trapped as of now with unrealized losses in the case of Oklo are the ones that started positions. This was back on May 28th when Oklo hit $57. So as of now, they are a potential level of overhead supply from which Oklo could be pulling back. This could be a potential level of resistance. So $53, if we reconcile this information with the 4-hour chart that I just showed you guys, take a look. The 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average, is precisely signaling as of now $53. So Oklo takes out $53, and in my opinion, Oklo is off to the races. And yeah, it could be bouncing back up from $48 and from $48 up to $53. This could represent an 8% profit trade. So these are the potential scenarios that I can visualize in the case of Oklo. There you go. What other stocks you guys want to know about? Crwv, the new Palantir. CRWV. Crwv, take a look at this, guys. Unbelievable. And take a look at this, guys. So in my Discord or on my Discord, I post unusual options alerts every day. Take a look at this alert that I posted on my Discord today, guys. Look, this information is in Spanish, so don't worry about it. But you can tell what I am going to be talking about. Let me take a screenshot here. Let me show you this, guys. Because when it comes to the options market, wow, they have been buying calls of Crwv, guys, left and right. Take a look at this, guys. This information was posted on my Discord today at, take a look, 9 a.m. And again, this is in Spanish, but take a look at this. Crwv, guys, take a look. Yesterday, someone invested $2.2 million, guys, in call options of Crwv expiring on August 15th. And take a look at this strike, guys, $50. Let me ask you something. Why would anyone buy call options of Crwv, CRWV, with a strike price of $50? So what's the model of the study here? Who would do this? Who would be investing $2.2 million, guys, yesterday on call options of Crwv expiring on August 15 with a strike price of $50? Who would do this? And take a look at what happened with Crwv today, guys. This was a rocket ship. Look, many members of my Patreon follow this alert. Take a look at this. A rocket ship. Unbelievable. Someone who knows it's going beyond that. No. An institution that wants to own Crwv shares at $50. Someone in the Congress. Yeah, that could also be the case. So, go figure, guys. In this case, because I mean, most of us, when we trade options and when we buy a call option, we just want to make a profit out of the process of appreciation of that contract, correct? If you buy a call option of Crwv, none of you guys should be buying options of Crwv because the implied volatility is super high. But whenever we buy a call option, we just want that stock to go up so we can sell out of the contract that we purchased at a higher price, right? In this case, guys, we're talking about an institution that is so bullish on Crwv that they don't mind the price that Crwv could be having by the expiration date. They just want to have the right to buy shares of Crwv by the expiration date at a price of $50. This is super bullish. Super bullish. And take a look at what happened today with Crwv, guys. Unbelievable. I actually made a video yesterday about Crwv, and there is some sort of similarity between Crwv and Palantir. And obviously, guys, the business model of these two companies, for the most part, have nothing to do with each other, right? But we are talking about companies or stocks that trade at very high multiples. These two stocks, Crwv and Palantir, are very expensive stocks, super expensive. Palantir way more expensive than Crwv, but this is also a very expensive stock. And as of now, guys, and this is something that I have told you on multiple occasions, and this is something that probably you guys have heard from some YouTubers, like, hey, this stock is a bubble, and this stock and the valuation of this stock doesn't make any sense and stuff like that. When the story behind a stock such as, or behind a company such as Crwv or Palantir has not lost any traction, multiples don't matter. So, and obviously we are going to see pullbacks on the way up in the case of Crwv, but you will see tomorrow, or I don't know, throughout this week, some YouTubers saying, yeah, because Crwv has gone up too much and this is a bubble and this stock has to collapse and this stock is going down and this is an easy short and stuff like that. In the case of Crwv, and since the as I just told you guys, sorry, since the story behind this company hasn't lost any traction, we haven't gotten bad news that could, have the markets rethink the valuation of this company. This stock, believe it or not, guys, can keep going higher. And in the video that I made yesterday, when Crwv closed the trading session at $117 or something like that, it closed at $122. I said on that video yesterday that Crwv could keep going higher. And guess what, guys? This stock went up today 25%. And it closed the trading session at $150. Am I going to be trading Crwv at these levels? Of course not. I'm going to be waiting for a pullback, but this is a clear uptrend. We have a rising 20-day moving average, rising 5 DMA, and in my opinion, and this is something that this is a characteristic that we can compare between Crwv and Palantir. I think that dips, and we are going to have many dips in the case of Crwv, and we are going to see probably a lot of pullbacks. Dips are very likely to end up being bought up. Where would I be buying the dip on Crwv, guys? Over here we have a former all-time highs, quote unquote, because this stock has been trading for 3 or 4 months. So say that Crwv pulls back down to $129. This is a potential spot from which Crwv could be bouncing back up. 129 is broken to the downside. What about the 5-day moving average? $121. So as long as we don't see a big overall pullback of the markets, or as long as we don't get bad news about Crwv, I think that this stock can keep going higher. And by the way, guys, take a look at this. And this is something that I explained in yesterday's video. Take a look at this, guys. By the way, Crwv. This company here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. There you go. Take a look at this, guys. Come on, oh no, I don't have the information here. Okay, here. Take a look at this. And this is something, what I am about to tell you is in the awareness category. But listen up. So this company, guys, has a cash position of $1.2 billion. Put this down on a sticky note because I think that what I am about to tell you is going to happen. So this company has $1.2 billion in cash. It's a lot of money, right? Fair enough. Take a look at the long-term debt of Crwv, guys. $5 billion. So the company has a cash position of $1.2 billion and it has a long-term debt of, what is it at? What's the long-term debt here? What is it at? Long-term debt. We can round this up. $5 billion. And get this, guys. On its last earnings report, or during the last quarter that Crwv reported, this company lost $314 million. Take a look. They posted a negative net income of $314 million. And don't get me wrong, the company is growing like crazy. It is showing as of now an exponential growth when it comes to the revenue. But what does this situation imply, guys? Having a $4 billion deficit between the cash position of the company relative to the long-term debt. And on top of that, we have a company that on its last reported quarter, this company burned $340 million. So how can I use this information in order to trade Crwv? What do you guys think? Well, no one knows. That's fine. Okay. So what this implies, guys, in practical terms, is that Crwv is going to be diluting its shareholders sooner rather than later. What happens when a company issues new shares in order to raise capital? What happens? Anyone knows? The stock usually takes a hit. So if you're trading Crwv, needless to say, at these levels, you have to be careful and mindful of the fact that at any moment, out of nowhere, this company should be announcing a dilution. They should be announcing that they are raising cash by issuing new shares. If that happens, guys, and you have weekly options of Crwv, oh boy, get ready. So be careful about that, because that could be one of the reasons why we could be about to see a sizable drop of Crwv. Because in my opinion, a dilution is coming, guys. I would say sooner rather than later. It is extremely evident, guys. This company needs to raise cash. Yeah, obviously. I don't have the market structure of Crwv available because this stock has been trading only for 3 months. And when it comes to anchored volume weighted average price lines, there is not really much to say here, guys. I mean, this stock is trading pretty much at all-time highs. So we don't have important levels of overhead supply above the current price of Crwv. And again, I would be a buyer maybe of a pullback down to 129, maybe down to the 5 DMA, 121. But I think that dips will keep getting bought up here. Fere Cirulla, in which channel do you post in Spanish? So I have a YouTube channel, guys, and I post... I make videos in both English and Spanish, but my Patreon is spoken in Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, you shouldn't sign up because you will not understand anything. But the good news is that on Thursday, guys, I am going to be opening a Patreon in English for those who want to sign up and maybe have a more direct contact with me. But I will be announcing that on Thursday. Many of you guys have told me to start something in Spanish. And many of you guys, but I mean, so many of you guys have signed up for my Patreon in Spanish. And I ended up reimbursing you guys the money because you don't understand anything. Obviously. Because it is spoken and written in Spanish. But I got something for you guys coming up on Thursday in English. So stay tuned for that information. So what else? What other stock you want me to go over? Please let me know. CEG, yeah, Constellation Energy. Let's see. CEG. Constellation Energy. Take a look at this, guys. It ended up giving up all of the gains. Take a look. Wow, this stock went up today, guys, when the news about the deal with Meta came out. It went up 16%. Wow. It ended up giving up all of the gains, but take a look at this upward sloping 5-day moving average, guys. $308. And mind you, guys, the news about the deal with Meta was very good news. Very good news. And this is a clear uptrend, guys, but today we saw a massive profit-taking process here, guys. But as long as CG, guys, can remain above the 5-day moving average, so above $308, I think that we could be seeing more upside here, guys. Take a look. above the 5, the 20, the 100, the 200, and the 50-day moving average. This is a very good looking short, guys. As long as the bulls can sustain price above the 5 DMA. Upward sloping, by the way. It is rising above $308. So I will be keeping an eye on CEG tomorrow, guys. Potentially being able to consolidate above $308. Yep. Okay, let me take a look at the market structure of Constellation Energy. So today we saw profit taking, guys, but other than that, the short still looks bullish. I mean, maybe a bearer of CEG would say that this was a blow off top. Oh, blow off top, this stock is going down. I mean, maybe. But as of now, and despite the fact that we saw a massive rejection from this morning super positive reaction to the news about the deal with Meta, as long as this stock remains above 308, guys, I would be constructive about the stock. Only price action pays. Take a look at the market structure of Constellation Energy, guys. So remember, on top of this chart, you guys can see the demand or buyers, and at the bottom, the supply sellers. The demand is going up, and the supply is going down. So fewer sellers relative to buyers in minor time frames. So this thing, guys, holds 308. I could be thinking about giving it a shot. Yeah. And when it comes to Crwv VWAPs, nothing to complain about, guys. Let me see. Let me pull up here. Trading view. CG. Let's go see. If we pull up an anchored volume weighted average price line from this high back from January 23rd, we get an average price of $252, guys. Go figure. For the most part, we didn't have any buyers trapped above the current price of Constellation Energy. Sure, someone did buy the dip today and wasn't successful at it, you know. Maybe we have some buyers trapped at 336, 320, but we're not talking about a lot of buyers here, guys. For the most part, this was profit taking all day long. So this stock remains above 308. Maybe we have higher prices coming up here, guys. The 5 DMA doesn't have a time frame. Yeah. I really need to teach you a class about moving averages, guys. Those are daily moving averages, so they signal the same levels regardless of the time frame. Many of you guys, and you should know this, if you're asking that, that implies that you don't know the way that moving averages work. You have exponential, simple moving averages, and daily moving averages. In the case of exponential moving averages and simple moving averages, the levels that those moving averages signal change depending on the time frame. The moving averages that I use do not change depending on the time frame. They show the average price of any given security during a specific number of days. So take a look at the 5 DMA of CEG, guys. On a 4-hour chart, it is signaling $308. If I pull up a 1 day, 1 minute, what price is it signaling? The same price. And this is the beauty about daily moving averages, guys. Because when we use technical indicators, what are we looking for? We are looking for technical indicators that are commonly used by the vast majority of market participants. So if I use a moving average that is changing depending on the time frame, then the likelihood of having a lot of market participants looking at that same information decreases significantly. Don't you think so? Yes. In the case of my moving averages, everyone is seeing the same information. What happened with Constellation Energy was the same thing that happened with HIMS today, guys. Yeah, so we got, in the case of HIMS, we also got good news about whatever it was. The stock went up a lot, and then the RIP got sold. Guys, these stocks, HIMS, Crwv, even though in the case of Crwv we didn't see any profit taking. So in the case of hams, I don't know. What other stock can I talk about? Oklo. So these are higher multiple stocks, guys. And usually, in the case of those stocks, when we see them going up like crazy, buyers usually show up, guys, and that's what happened in the case of hams. So it went up today since the news came out. How much, guys? Take a look. It's 18%. So do not chase these stocks, guys. And in the case of hams, we have a similar case relative to Constellation Energy. So we had a big pop. The RIP got sold. The stock dropped a lot relative to the session high. And take a look at how the bulls are trying to find support between the 20-day moving average and the 5 DMA. The 5 DMA is signaling $55 and the 20 DMA is signaling $56. So we had today a very positive catalyst in the case of hams. So say that hams consolidate or is able to consolidate tomorrow above $56. This situation could be attracting buyers into this technical chart. On the flip side, hams breaks the 5 DMA to the downside, $54. This would be negative, and maybe sellers could be stepping in here, right? So I would be constructive about above $56, and I would be careful if hams breaks $54.50 to the downside. Let me take a look at the market structure of hams. Let's go see. Someone asked about UNH, I think, right? Hams. Let me see. Hams and hers. What do we get here? Wow, the market structure doesn't look good at all, guys. Take a look. Just the opposite relative to Oklo. Remember, this is a market structure chart. What you're seeing on top of this chart, this is the demand or buyers. The demand collapsed. Wow. Buyers are simply running away in minor time frames for hams. And the supply is going up. This is a very crappy market structure chart for hams. So be careful here, guys, because the market structure is signaling that maybe we have lower prices coming up for hams, which could be the case if this 50 DMA is broken to the downside. $54.60 approximately. Let me see. Let me take a look at some anchor VWAPs, anchored volume weighted average price lines of hams and hers. Let's go see. Well, from a let me display an anchor VWAP from this former high back from May 14th. Take a look. So if we display an anchored volume weighted average price line from this former high or from this former level of resistance for hams back from May 14th, we get an average price of $58. So take a look, guys. I just told you about the 20 DMA, about the 20-day moving average that as of now is signaling $56.50. And slightly above that level, we find $58. This is a level of resistance at which hams felt yesterday. So for me, in order to turn like very positive and bullish on hams, I would need to see it bursting above $58. So holding as support the 20 and the 5-day moving average, but also being able to recapture and burst above the anchor VWAP that comes from this former high and former level of resistance. This was, let me see, back from May 14th. Let me see. Here, May 14th, correct. Over here. So super constructive about above $58 and a bit concerning breaking the 5-day moving average. To the downside, $54.60. I see much to learn. Yeah, don't rush. Don't be in a rush, guys. Yeah. This is a very tough business. If you are in a rush in order to start making profit in this business when you are a newie, you will be losing money fast. The best thing or the best approach, guys, when it comes to the markets is first learning a lot, practicing, and then starting to trade little by little. Yeah, most of the people, guys, that get started in this business, super antsy, and I want to make a lot of money, and I'm gonna try daily options, and I want to know everything super quickly because I need to start making money out of this. Most of those, those people end up losing a lot of money, and they end up leaving the business. So take it easy. Take it easy. Did you miss UNH? No, you haven't, Crystal, because I haven't gone over UNH. Let's take a look. UnitedHealth Group. So it went down today 1.15%, and it closed the trading session at $301. Guys, this is a very ugly looking chart. I cannot emphasize this enough. Take a look below the 200, 150, and the 20-day moving average. Take a look at the slope of the 20 DMA in pink. It is clearly downward sloping. This is a very ugly looking chart. How can we be a bit constructive in the case of UNH? What about holding this 5 DMA, 5-day moving average? So being able to hold $300 as support. On top of that, $300 happens to be a fat number. Fat numbers in this business are very important. So the 5 DMA, which signals who is in control of minor timeframes, is coinciding with a fat number. So the fact that UNH could potentially hold $300 as support is positive. A potential process of consolidation above $300 could be opening the door for a test of the 20-day moving average. Take a look at the slope of the 20 DMA, guys. It is downward sloping. It is pushing price down. This will not be an easy spot for the bulls, more likely than not. And on top of that, this 20 DMA is pretty much coinciding with two former levels of resistance for UNH. Back from May 20th and the other one back from May 14th. UNH takes out $323, $324. This situation could be attracting more buyers into this technical short. And the last line of defense for the bulls is a zone between $300, 5-day moving average coinciding with a fat number. And take a look at this anchor VWAP, guys. Look, in the case of UNH, and I use a lot anchored volume weighted average price lines in order to do my technical analysis. Take a look at this, guys. A VWAP, this is an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from where? From the low that UNH made back on May 15th. So back on May 15th, UNH hit or reached $250. So the average market participant that started the position right at $250 back on May 15th has an average price as of now of $290. This is a big level, guys, for UNH. Why is it? Because take a look, guys. These buyers have been tested on 2 or 3 occasions recently, and they have not capitulated. They believe that the bottom for UNH was or comes, or we can say that UNH bottomed out back on May 15th. So these buyers have been defending price tooth and nail. If these buyers happen to capitulate, if they decide to sell out of their positions, oh boy, this thing could collapse once again. So between $291 and $300, we are talking about a potential support zone for UNH. If that support zone is broken to the downside, buckle up, because I think that the selling pressure could accelerate significantly. Below 291, and well, we'll see if maybe the buyers can take out $323 to $322 anytime soon. We'll see about that. Kind of look up at Bull. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Weeble. And let me see, Bull. 54 minutes in. There you go. Good. this is a totally broken technical short. No reason whatsoever for any of you guys to trade Webull. And if you have a losing position, don't do anything or cut the loss. Be careful about that, guys. Most people that average down on their losing positions end up making those losses even worse. Averaging down on losing positions is usually a bad strategy. Did you guys know that? You're investing more money on a losing position. I rarely ever average down on my positions, guys. Rarely ever. Maybe you're asking because you have a losing position on bull, right? You're holding the bag. Well, don't do anything or cut the loss because forget it. I mean, this technical short is absolutely broken. So, in other words, guys, don't buy the dip. Do not buy the dip. Buy strength after the dip. There's zero strength when it comes to Webull from a technical standpoint. So don't do anything. Just don't do anything. Say that Webull maybe, I don't know, burst or is able to burst above the 50-day moving average, $16. Well, I mean, that would be some sort of signal that buyers are starting to step in, and that would be positive. But other than that, guys, don't do anything. This technical short is trash, pretty much. Oh, by the way, I didn't take a look at the market structure of UNH. I owe you guys that. Let me see. UNH. Let's go see the demand and the supply. Is there anything meaningful that we can highlight here? Let's see. Take a look, guys. The demand is starting to rise. Take a look at how, in the case of UNH, guys, take a look at how the demand collapsed. This was a collapse. And now the demand is starting to go up. Along, we can say with the supply, but the level of the demand is actually higher relative to the level of the supply. Maybe, I don't know. As long as the bulls defend $300 and $290, we could see higher prices coming up for UNH. What else? Uber. Let's go see. By the way, guys, do you guys happen to know what's the date for the robotaxi event? That could be a negative catalyst for Uber. I think that the event is going to be taking place next week on June 12th. Can anyone confirm that? I think so. So I don't know if maybe, the robotaxi looks super solid and Elon says that it is already working. I don't know. That the robotaxis are already running all over Austin in Texas. June 12th, correct, Jennifer? Thank you. So that could be bad news for Uber. And on the flip side, guys, if the event happens to be another deception, if Elon doesn't present something concrete, tangible that could be, happening in June, the robotaxis running all over Austin in Texas and stuff like that, that could be positive for Uber. So Uber has been getting killed recently, guys. I think that based on the idea that Elon is going to be able to present something decent next week. I thought some analysts said Uber is ordering a fleet of robotaxis. Now, Elon said that he will not work with Uber. No. I don't think that is going to happen. Elon said no. Elon said that he wants to actually compete with Uber. But that could be, I don't know. That day, I am telling you guys ahead of time, that day Uber is going to be moving. Yeah, it's going to be on the move. 1,000,000%, guys. And yes, the event is on June 12th, so thank you. The chart doesn't look good, guys. You know that I use a lot the 5-day moving average, the 5 DMA, this downward sloping. Take a look. Uber as of now is trading below the 20 and the 5 DMA. This is not a good looking chart. I would feel constructive about Uber if the bulls can take out here the 20-day moving average, the 20 DMA. Say that the bulls can burst above $88 and maybe consolidate above that level. That would be positive. But nothing positive happens below a 5 DMA. 5-day moving average. So it looks like, as of now, This could even be a short, guys. Say that maybe tomorrow we see Uber struggling at bursting above the 5 DMA, so struggling at bursting above $84. This could potentially open. This could be potentially opening the door for a test of the 50-day moving average at $79. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't touch it here ahead of the robo-taxi whatever event. Or I don't know, guys. What happens if President Trump engages in a back and forth tomorrow with Elon on social media? That would be positive for Uber, right? Yeah. I mean, I think it would be positive for Uber because the markets would be thinking about like, okay, now Elon is fighting with Trump, and that implies the regulation in order to have the robo-taxis running all over the place is going to be delayed and it's going to be difficult. So that could be good news for Uber. Who knows? Yeah. So not a good looking chart, guys. Yeah. Let me take a look at the market structure of Uber. Uber, UBER. And let's go see. Well, the market structure looks ugly, guys. Ugly. Take a look at the demand. Again, the blue shaded region, it collapsed. The supply is also going down, which could be signaling that maybe we have a bit of sellers exhaustion here. Maybe. But you never want to see the demand of a stock collapsing like this, guys. I think we have lower prices coming up here for Uber, and the only way that I would be constructive about this stock would be recapturing the 20 DMA at $87. Let me pull up an anchor VWAP from the all-time highs. Let's see if we see something interesting here. Let's see Uber Technologies. And is that the all-time highs? I think it is, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's go see. So let's display an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time highs. So Uber hit $93 back on May 20th. And we get an average price of $86. And the 20 DMA is signaling $87. Go figure, guys. So this is a potential level of resistance. So we know, guys, that the average market participant that started a position on Uber back on May 20th at $93 has an average price of $86. They are holding the bag. They are dealing with an unrealized loss. So whenever Uber pulls up, more likely than not, those market participants that as of now have losing positions in Uber with an average price of $86, they might more likely than not closing those positions breaking even. So they could become a potential level of overhead supply or resistance. So, and take a look at how this anchor VWAP is pretty much coinciding with the 20-day moving average, $87. That anchor VWAP has an average price of $86. So I would be constructive about $87, and this is not a good looking chart, in my opinion. Well, guys, I am going to wrap it up. An hour and 3 minutes in. How about that, huh? I am going live once again on Thursday. Remember, yeah. So I will be dropping the corresponding link on Discord, and well, just keep a list of your favorite stocks handy. And I will see you guys live once again on Thursday. Okay? And let's see if we can make some bucks tomorrow with Oklo. Full disclosure, I got shares into the closing bell of Oklo. Yeah, I got shares, 50 shares. Yeah, full disclosure. Okay, guys, see you guys live on Thursday, okay? On Thursday, I am going to be sharing with you guys the link of the Patreon in English. Yeah, many of you guys have been asking for it, and yeah, let's go ahead and do it, okay? Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go grab a beer or a glass of wine or whatever. Bye, guys. Take care. See you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. See you guys on Discord tomorrow, okay? Thanks. Bye.